Okay. So hello everyone. This is Mike Searson, and I am doing a live stream on presentations, on showing you some ideas, giving some ideas and resources to help you with finding a job position. Hopefully you're seeing the screen. I have another computer with me, so hopefully I can look up how I'm doing here. But as you can probably guess, I'm doing this essentially for the first time. So if you can if you can just kind of be patient as I try work out the links here. Here we go. Okay, so pulling up another computer here just to see that. Okay, you should see the screen here. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple of different screens here, and again, I'm using a different computer here to kind of see if there's a delay here. I'm not looking at comments. This is kind of my first run around through it of just learning how to use this process. But my thinking is this will be about an hour long. There appears to be a delay in what I have on my computer versus what shows up on the system. So there's like a 30-second to a minute delay. Not going to look at chat again in this presentation, just because I'm trying to get used to actually doing a live presentation. But welcome. Welcome to hopefully one of many. My game plan is to do these presentations using the same sort of course. We may adjust it from time to time, but part of this is to give me practice in doing live streams, and I have this course here that I prepared and have done in person in public libraries in the Omaha, Nebraska area, and decided, well, I could probably do the same presentation as a live stream. So without further ado, again, my game plan is to do this about once an hour. Not once an hour, I'm sorry, about my game plan is to do this about 1 hour, see how far we can go, and go from there. So and thanks for joining me on this journey of live streaming, which I've not done too much of, and hopefully I can get better at it. So okay, so we're going to look at different resources to how to get better at searching for careers. How do I what are some ideas and some resources that I can do to help improve my job search, whatever that job search may happen to be. Okay. Again, the purpose of this presentation is to help job seekers who are job searching. It's geared toward helping those job seekers who are just beginning to do their job search, to make it easier, faster, so you're not having to reinvent the wheel. The presentation tends to focus more on remote career resources. I'm actually using examples from Las Vegas, Nevada. In the presentation, there also may be examples from Omaha, Nebraska. And my idea here is to use a collection of different ideas on this. Okay. Anyway, without further ado, here we go. So collection of ideas here. There is sometimes different definitions that are used, particularly if you're looking for a remote job position, of whether it's 100% remote or partial or hybrid remote. The definitions that I understand is when they sometimes say 100% remote or fully remote is another word that they can describe it, means that you work entirely from your home and you will not have to work at a particular workplace destination. That gives some advantages of those type of positions, is that you're not tied into a particular geographic location due to your workplace. For example, if you like to enjoy travel, for example, you could enjoy traveling around the world if that's what you wish to do, using your internet connection and being in a 100% remote job position without being restricted to a particular remote location. Probably should have mentioned here, sorry about that, is that a lot of these resources are geared toward people in the United States. Some of these type of resources might be helpful for people somewhere else in the world as well. So let's get started here. And then partial or hybrid remote positions, these would be positions that would be that you work from your home part of the time, and then you are partially part of the time also having to work at a particular work location. The disadvantage is you're tied into a particular geographic location at least part of the time. The advantage of a partial or hybrid remote position can be that the competition for the position could be less. If you have to be in a particular geographic location, you're not. In theory, some of these remote job positions could be competitive worldwide, so you could be competing against the entire world for those positions. Whereas a partial hybrid position, you may only be competing. It still can be competitive, but you may be only competing in a particular geographic location. Anyway, give some ideas and thoughts that might be helpful. So I'm going to give some introductory thoughts, and then you can evaluate if these introductory thoughts are helpful for you or not. Hopefully they are, but if they're not, that's fine too. Just to pick and choose what ideas here that might be helpful to you, and then if they don't, that's fine too. Just again, picking. All this is geared to being useful and helpful to you. Everybody's situation is different. Backgrounds and skill sets and all that stuff is going to be different. So just pick the skill sets that are going to be helpful for you. But career exploration, some ideas are related to career exploration. I find that each job search is going to be different and unique for each individual involved. And if you can, you may want to spend some time evaluating what you would like to do. Some questions you could ask yourself could be, what type of jobs would you like? And what job activities would you prefer? Ideally, you would find a job position where if not all the job duties, we probably wouldn't get that ideal. There's always going to be some activities in a job position likelihood that is not your ideal. But idealistically, you're trying to find the majority of your job positions where you enjoy idealistically, or at least you like those activities in the job position. Okay? And again, ideally, you would be finding those job positions that you would enjoy and would have fun doing. Okay, so if, for example, you work Monday through Friday in a typical, let's say, business week, even though there are job positions where nowadays where people are working a variety of different days and shifts and all that type of stuff. You hopefully would be, let's say if you're working on a typical day from, let's say, Monday through Friday for shift, that on Sunday night you're not dreading having to go into work the next day. So idealistically, you are enjoying the job position, so you do not mind going into work the next day. It may even, if you're lucky enough, consider the job to be fun, if you will. Here are some, so you want to kind of spend some time evaluating what job positions out there that I would enjoy going out to do. Okay. Some resources to help you with that. There's some book resources. There's one called "What Color Is Your Parachute?" Let's see here. Let's get back to over here. And okay, let me just type in what color your parachute is and kind of give you an explanation of that. What color is your parachute? And I'll give you the AI description of this. Looked it up on one of these tabs up here already, but let's see. Okay, so what they describe here is "What Color Is Your Parachute" is a world-renowned career advice book by Richard Nelson Bowles. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, hopefully. First published in 1970, is considered to be the Bible of job. Is considered to be the quote Bible quote of job hunting, and is updated annually to reflect changes in the modern job market. Very good book. I bought a couple collection of editions myself over many years, and one of the ideas of the book is, at least the editions that I've looked, now I have not looked at a recent one, but is you would open up the book, and in the middle of the book would be a flower. Okay, and that flower would have different features of the potential job of what you're looking for. Okay, and the idea of a flower is that, at least the concept of the flower is that certain flowers are going to do really well. They're going to grow really well in certain environments, and that same flower will wilt in different other environments. That same flower that might be wilting in that same environment, a different flower may actually do very well. So one of the ideas of the flower is that there are different work features out there, okay? And people will vary in their given gifts of what they are good at, and therefore people will vary in what type of work environments they will succeed and what work environments they will wilt in. And not everyone is the same. The world would be a completely boring place if it was. Not everyone is the same, has the same traits, abilities, skills, all that. So the idea here is that certain people will thrive in certain workplaces and will wilt in other workplaces. But what those workplaces, people will vary in what workplaces they will thrive in and what workplaces people will wilt in. Some people, and that's why you can't really say, well, people will always succeed in this type of work environment. Well, it's going to vary. Some people might prefer more cooperative workplaces, while other people might prefer more competitive workplaces. It will vary. Okay. Hopefully people can hear me. Like I said, I'm doing this, my game plan is to do this same similar workshop over the next couple weeks. Again, part of this is to give me practice in doing this, because it's one of those activities, if you're ever doing live streams, it's like bicycling or driving or stuff. You can read all the theory you want to, but you actually have to start getting in there and doing it to get better at it. So that's what's going on here. So, but it is a wonderful handbook. The author himself died a couple years ago, so I don't know who is creating the handbook now, but it is certainly a wonderful resource to look at. And if you have time, and it does take some time to fill out the flower. It's not something that idealistically you have time to fill out the flower, to learn those internal features of the job position that you might be interested in pursuing. And I believe, if I've read what I remember from reading the book, is you want to find a career that is your ideal. Just because a lot of times if you find something that you're good at, a lot of times it's not 100%, but a lot of times those behavior skills that people enjoy, they're also good at as well. So there's a lot of times a nice overlap. But that can give you a lot of feedback on that. Okay. Another resource that you can try is something called, come down here, is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Okay, and what the Occupational Outlook Handbook is it is, and I don't know if people can see this, it's bls.gov/OOH/, okay, or you can just go Occupational Outlook Handbook in a Google search or whatever search engine you use. But it is again, this is directed for resources in the United States. My assumption is that in other places of the world they have excuse me, sorry, there would be other similar resources out there. It just would be modified based upon where you're at. But the Occupational Outlook Handbook gives, like, I don't know, the 200 or so, I'm sure it's 200, but it's somewhere approximate that number, of the major career fields in the United States. Okay. Now, a lot of ways you can look up a particular field is by these categories here on the right. Okay, you can click on it and get some information. So, like, I don't know, let's try education training. I like education training, so no surprise there, given I like doing this presentation. So you click on the category education training, and then what you get here is a more excuse me, a more specific listing of other job categories that you might be interested in going into. Like, I don't know, let's say you want to be a teacher assistant. So you click on that. And then what you get here is a collection of other features of that position called a teacher assistant. What do they do? What are the things they occupy? What do they do? You can look right here. Okay, here's some activities that what the teacher assistants do. The work environment. Okay, here's some of the work environments that they occupy. How to become one. Okay, here's some ideas how to become one. Again, this is all available on the internet, on Google. Pay, what you want to look at here. Job outlook, state, areas. Here's some stuff, and get information on wages. And this is a pretty cool icon here called similar occupations. These are, at least within the Occupational Outlook book, it gives a indication of some of the other resources that are available. excuse me, that are available for people if that's what they want to pursue. And some other resources that they can go from there. So, so that is some ideas of some stuff that people can. There's some book resources to again look at some exploring some careers. Other career ideas that people can explore to explore a career can be I'll call them career exploration instruments. These are assessments that one can take to learn about features that you might like in a career. Okay. You may even find assessments that might give you, let's say, indications of, you take this assessment and then you may get a list of careers that you may be interested in. Okay. What I understand of those assessments is do not approach those assessments as I will find out the, if you will, quote, the answer, but think of assessments as a additional tool by which you can get additional information about careers. Okay, don't make the assumption that okay, I will find out my career choice from from this one particular assessment, because that may not. There may be some assessments. So if you find, let's say you take an assessment and you get a list of job occupations and they don't match anything that you think you might be interested in, that may just be that assessment just didn't work for you. Maybe try some other career exploration methods to see what other career choice that you may want to go after. So anyway, other places, and so I'm still talking about career exploration here, okay? But I'm kind of want to talk about another place that you can have help in finding career exploration. But within that subset of career exploration of resources to go after, I want to talk about career experts in, at least in the United States, where are some places that you might be able to find another tool called career experts. Okay. Again, career experts can be helpful in your career exploration job search journey. If you are at the beginning stage of your job search, what I would recommend is that you start with a job expert relatively soon in your job search. The reason for that is that you can have some that way you can have at least some let me get back to that here again. I'm doing live streaming here, so I haven't been able to do this for a while. Is that you want to have a career expert in the beginning stages of your job search. That way you can find out early if you are doing something right in your job search or not. Okay. Often, a lot of times in the job search, you will get feedback, but a lot of times it's feedback that you may not be able to use very much. A lot of times the feedback you may get is no. You'll get feedback that will be no, 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 maybe, and then they think about it for a while, and then will be no, 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 and further no. A lot of times in the job search you may get feedback that is a lot of times in the job search your feedback is no, but you don't get feedback as to why you got a no. You just know that you applied for a job position and you may not have heard anything back, or you may have been invited to an interview, and again, you may not you have the interview but then not get selected, and you may not know exactly why you did not get selected. So a lot of times, if you can involve a career expert early in your job search process, that can be helpful in the job search. So here are some places that you can look at to try to find a career expert. One is, as it says in this PowerPoint slide, American Job Centers. And what American Job Centers are government agencies that help people with their career or job search. American Job Centers are in each state of the United States, and American Job Centers may be able to offer career guidance and help in finding educational or career options. Just a lot of times they are organized by state. Let me just show you here. Get the thing here, and I probably can show you too here. Let's see here. So if you go, let's say, type in your state. Let's say Nebraska's American Job Center. Maybe we'll get some information from that. And so we're getting a listing of different things. One of these things is, this is again an example from Omaha, Nebraska, of something called Heartland Workforce Solutions. So if I click on that, what you're getting here is some of the assessments, and you may be able to find a career expert from. You just look at. A lot of times they'll have, like Heartland Workforce Solutions has this thing called Programs and Services. You click on that, and then different localities will probably have different specific services that they can offer people. But one of the things they offer here is something called Adult Services. And if you read, again, it probably depends, again, where you live. Then again, this is geared toward the people in the United States, of exactly what services they may provide and what services they don't. But you might be able to find a program where you can meet someone at a American Job Bank who might be a career expert who might be able to help you. Okay. So that's one place that you can go to. Another place that you can go to is a nonprofit organization. And one of the nonprofit organizations that can be helpful is Goodwill. Again, this is focused on the United States. Goodwill sometimes will provide career services toward people. Let's take an example of, let's take an example of Nevada, in Las Vegas, or in that area, is if we go, let's say, let me do a keyword search. One of these icons, I tried to look it up ahead of time, but wasn't really all that effective at, is if you go, do a Google search here, okay, and go Goodwill, Southern Nevada. Okay. And okay, Goodwill, Southern Nevada. One of the links that they have here is called Program and Services, and then they have something called Career Services right here. If you click on that, what you'll get here is a listing of different resources, and one of the listings here is for career coaching. Okay, so you can just click on that, and what you'll get here is a listing, at least at this. And I should mention different Goodwill centers at different places, and this is just, by the way, one non-profit organization example. There may be other non-profit organizations in your local area that provide career services for people. But excuse me, this is the example of Goodwill's career services in southern Nevada. So you just kind of flip down the page, you get some different names and titles and some different career coaches that are listed here. So anyway, that's kind of how that works. Another place that you can find career experts is something called private practice. Okay, and I don't know. I haven't played with it too much, but if you did a Google search, let's say, I don't know, Las Vegas, Nevada, and then you go career coaches. Let's just see what we find here. And my guess is some of these look like job positions. But my guess is you can get a listing of private paid career coaches that could help you with your career and maybe other related needs, for like if it's a life coach. My guess is that's a more broader specialization. It may help you with career and maybe other areas like education. I'm not sure on that. Each coach is going to be different. Let's see, how do I go down the page here? Okay, so again, a listing of career coaches, and I don't have anyone specifically to recommend, but they can be another place that can maybe help you with career exploration. Okay. The one suggestion on career coaches that I would give out is that if you can, avoid paying a career coach, do as a kind of a pay-as-you-go plan. Don't do a career coach where you're paying for a whole bunch of services ahead of time and then see the career coach. And the reason for that is you can have a well-trained career coach and who's good and expertise and all that stuff, have all the right credentials, have all the right traits and experiences and all that stuff, and that career coach still may not work for you. Okay. The career coach can maybe on their top of they can maybe be the top expert in their field. Again, have all the right experiences, be highly skilled, highly experienced, and still may not individually work with you. The main reason is that it's a very individualized experience. The interactions between people can vary, okay? And one career coach may work very effectively for one person, but may not be very effective against another person. So if you start meeting with a career coach that does not work for you, even though the career coach themselves, he or she, may be perfectly fine. I mean, they got the right credentials, they are delivering on what they promised that they would do, they may still not be very effective for you. Just because the whole interactions between people may vary. So if you pay for a whole bunch of services ahead of time, you may find that you don't really find that this working relationship with this one career coach may be not very effective. It's just not working. So you risk the danger of paying for a whole bunch of career services ahead of time that you're likely not going to use or you're not going to be able to fully benefit from. Okay? So because of that, because people's interactions with people can vary, what I would recommend is more of a pay-as-you-go approach. That way, if you start working with a career coach and you find, well, really work for me, it's no big problem. It's you can still benefit from. Basically, if you start talking to a career coach and you find that um, and you find that that you find that you find that the career coach isn't really working for you. One of the things that you can do is, if it's just pay as you go, you're not having to spend. You haven't lost it because you didn't know ahead of time, but you're not you only have committed to the time in money when you actually saw the coach, rather than paying a whole bunch of money ahead of time and potentially losing out on that money just because you just didn't interact with that coach very well. Again, the coach could be equally very skilled, very talented and stuff, but just because the individual interactions with people can vary. That individual coach you may find the individual career coach may not work with you, but then the next person they could be perfectly fine working with, just because people vary. So anyway, colleges and universities is another place that you can maybe find a career expert to help you with career guidance. A lot of times, let me go back to the PowerPoint here. A lot of times with colleges and universities, getting better. Like I said, I'm just starting these live streams, so my game plan is to do these from time to time, doing about the same presentation, but getting better at it. So, but anyway, colleges and universities, excuse me, is another place that one can go to find career experts. And one example of this is if you do a Google search. Let's say, let's do an example of Omaha, Nebraska. If you go, let's say, to the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and look at University of Nebraska, Omaha, career services. Let's just do that. And we'll look at the career services. The University of Nebraska, Omaha is one of the major universities. It's a public university. That's in Omaha. So anyway, one of the things is you can a lot of times see a career expert. For example, here meet a career expert here, where you can make they're called career advisors. A lot of times career experts might be called career advisors, career experts, that type of thing. The one footnote that I'm aware of is the career coaches are not a licensed profession here, by the way. So you have to kind of evaluate if the money that you're spending is worth it or not. The one exception to that, I think, is, at least here in the United States, is a career counselor. I believe is a licensed profession, or at least to use the term counselor, you have to be accredited somehow. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but if you talk to a career counselor, the person has to be an accredited counselor. So there is some accreditation in that particular area. But when a person can't, at least in the United States, I don't believe a person can just call themselves a counselor. They have to be educated to be a counselor. And I don't know of the specializations of, if there's actually accreditation for career counselor or not, but there actually is some accreditation when you use the term career counselor. But a lot of the other terminologies like career coach, career advisor, career expert, you'll see these different terminologies. There is no accreditation, licensing involved. So you do have to evaluate whether that career advisor, particularly if it's private pay, will work for you or not. Again, check with your own situation what information I provide will be helpful for you or not. But anyway, colleges and universities, one of the advantages that they will give is they will provide career experts as in that college and university helpful to you. Okay, and so for example, University of Nebraska Omaha, what you can do is just connect with a career advisor. Just click on this link right here, and you're going to click on that link, and you'll get here's the advising appointments where they can help you with career exploration, job search, resume, a whole variety of things. Now, a lot of times with colleges and universities, it's not always been this way, but check with the college and universities that you're looking at. I've sometimes seen a few over the years that will accept the general public as well. But a lot of times colleges and universities will restrict their services to current students